where it all began. A full circle moment for cornerback Patrick Peterson making his return to the Valley. Alongside P2, I'm Dani Sureck. Patrick, you spent a decade here in Arizona. You return to the Valley. What was your favorite memory here as you find yourself walking back through these hallways?
Oh man, so many memories. I was here before the bubble was even here, so I saw the transformation through the facility, so many memories has been running through my mind ever since, from my punt returns, touchdowns to the Green Bay playoff interception that got called back, just like I said, it's just so many great memories here and it feels good to be back.
You went from a first-round draft pick, 8-time Pro Bowler. You are 6th all-time on this franchise interception list. What are you most proud of from your time here?
What I'm most proud of, and I like to nudge Larry with this, is that I have the record of the most Pro Bowls consecutively, and that's 8. So I'm one up on you, Larry. He has more Pro Bowls than me, but I got more in a row than him.
And how does he feel when you remind him of that?
He just chuckle and smile, but he has many more records that I would never touch.
Fair enough. To come back to Arizona and end your career the same place it started, why was that important for you?
It was important to me because that's something that I wanted to be. I wanted to be a household name, when I was drafted here in 2011 with the 5th pick. I wanted to be one of those guys to help this franchise horse in the Lombardi Trophy. We came up a game short of getting to the big game, and I wasn't here when they played the Pittsburgh Steelers in the big game, but I wanted to be a part of that. And, I wanted to build a legacy and be remembered some way, somehow. And I feel like I was able to do that, in my time here in Arizona, being a 3-time All-Pro as a specialist. So it's not many guys that can say that they have those type of accolades, throughout their career. And Arizona helped, provide that for me if it was from Coach Spence, the special teams coach, Ken Wisenhunt, obviously the Bidwell family taking a chance on me, but the coaching staff having that belief and that confidence that I can go out there and be the best player that they envision me being.
10 years is a long time. You played a lot of football, you met a lot of people. What sort of meaningful relationships did you establish here? Because I know some of those people are going to be celebrating with you today.
Yeah, teammates. I can go on and on, from Larry, Adrian, Darnell, Calais, Joey Porter. Those was my older teammates, and like my middle tender, like the Rashards, Gerards, Kevin Mentors, Tyrann Matthews, Buda Baker, the Tony Jeffersons, Carson Palmers, Drew Stantons, AQ Shipleys, all of those guys, man, the friendships and the brotherhood that we had, and still to this day, is memorable, and I will always hold that close to my heart. Even the training staff, the Jeff, Machine, Tom, Chad, the equipment guys, Jeff, Stein, Mark, a guy who was here since they was in St. Louis and probably said 5 words. I can continue to go on and on and on with names, and it was just an honor and a privilege to spend my time here. And also, I'm sure it was a privilege for them to watch me grow.
For all the football you've played, all the accolades you've listed, what do you hope your NFL legacy will be?
Dani, that's a good question. I never really thought of it, but I know while I was playing what I wanted my legacy to be, and that was a fierce competitor, a guy who always ran to a challenge, never ran away from it, a guy who was able to uplift his teammates, a guy who was able to lead by an example. And I feel like I was able to do those things while, I played in this game I love so much for 13 seasons. So hopefully, the teammates that I had, I left for a great imprint, not only on their lives, but their football careers. And I know that they did the same to me. And that's why, some of these guys are here today celebrating this big day with me.
No doubt about it, a fierce competitor indeed. Patrick, congratulations. Welcome back to the Valley. Appreciate the time.
Thanks for having me.